Hello, friends, and welcome back to the shop. Today is Sunday, August 3rd, and it is a beautiful day here in southeastern Pennsylvania. August already, huh? We're back to those long months. The short months are always my favorite. Now we get into the long months. But hey, the holiday season's around the corner with spooky season starting in October. Eric and Mark, it starts in October. Sorry, inside joke. Anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Missed you last week. I was off on a bit of a vacation with my wife and her family, and that's primarily what I'm going to tell you about today. A little bit about the vacation and a story, a sort of sad story that don't worry, nothing tragic. Well, depends on depends on your threshold for tragic, but everybody's fine. I am smoking my Bari, um, and in the Bari right now, I have some Bayou Morning because I was smoking it while I was getting things set up here and I didn't want to stop. But I'm almost at the bottom of the bowl, and then I'm going to switch over to Shandy, which is the tobacco of the month this month, chosen by you, the Friday Night live stream viewers. There we go. I think I'd have that memorized by now. Ah, so slow start to today. Did some gardening yesterday. Threw my back out, waiting for the anti-inflammatories to kick in, so I can do some more gardening. So yes, we'll see. But at any rate, I wanted to make a Sunday chat today, talking about my my experiences last week, and also to just let you know that next week is the Columbus Pipe Show, the North American Society of Pipe Collectors show, which is not actually in Columbus. It's in Dublin, which is just outside of Columbus, I believe. But anyway, new location this year. Really looking forward to that. So I'm going to be leaving on uh, either Wednesday evening or Thursday morning. Can't haven't quite decided yet. Got to make a couple stops along the way. I'll be there Thursday night, so if anybody's showing up early and wants to hang out at the bar or anything, I'll be around. And then I'll be there Friday for the slow smoke competition, and then Saturday leaving Sunday morning. So yeah, should be a fun time. Really looking forward to it. All right, so as look at that, right on cue it ends. So as you know, if you were watching me last week, we went to Maryland to a place called Stevensville. This is a small, they call it an island, but I don't think it's technically an island. Probably more of an archipelago, not an archipelago. What do you call it when it's just sticking out? Well, anyway, not an island. It's still attached to the mainland, but lots of fjord-like structures. There we go. Why can't I think of what that's called? What is Florida? Peninsula. Peninsula. There we go. Yeah. So it was nice. It's an odd place, to be honest. It's like this place that wants to be a resort tourist area, but there's nothing really to do there other than be there and be a vacationer. There's not really. I guess Annapolis is not far away. There's a town called St. Michael, which I guess has some interesting stuff in it, but I don't know. I didn't understand the draw, but they didn't pick it for that. They picked it because it was a place they hadn't been before, and they just wanted to go and relax. And they rented and this, by the way, is to celebrate my wife's birthday. They rented a Airbnb, which was a little odd. Maybe I'll tell you a bit about that. Uh, it was nice. It was comfortable. Well, it was comfortable. It was livable. It just there were odd things about it. Like, it didn't have enough furniture. Like, there was just this one sectional place to sit and like a kitchen table. That was Or a dining room table. That was it. There weren't like any easy chairs, or like you'd go into the bedrooms, there was just a bed. There was no chair. There were no hooks on the walls. It just it it was very difficult to just sort of live there, but we were only there for a couple of days. I would have much rather been in a hotel, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, the nice thing about it was right on the bay. And that title card that you saw at the beginning there was my view for most of the time we were there, because if we weren't going out to a restaurant or a we went on a uh, cocktail hour cruise. I think it was happy hour cruise is what it was called, where they just kind of rode you around the bay while the guy played guitar and you drank. It was nice. But if we weren't doing that, I was pretty much sitting out in the backyard, which was just this little plot of grass that ended with a bulkhead, and there was like a maybe 2 foot, 3 foot drop to a sandy, I guess you'd call it a beach that ran right into the bay. And I sat on that bulkhead and smoked my pipe and drank coffee and watched birds. That's most of the time I spent was doing that. Early morning, or late at night, I sat on some Adirondack chairs that they had further back. But in when other people were around, I just sat on the bulkhead because I didn't want to blow smoke on them. And yeah, it was lovely. I really did enjoy it. It was relaxing, and I really enjoyed watching the birds because I got to see some that I had probably seen but hadn't identified. And on that title card, you'll see it again at the end. The left-hand side of it, the majority of the picture, is what my view was most of the time, including that big freighter that sat there for the whole weekend, big MSC freighter. Really fascinating to watch these big freighters move across the bay, carrying all those containers stacked up on top of them. At one point, it swung around and I could see the back of it, and I don't have the photo to show you, but I took a picture of it so that I could count the containers. And I estimated there was about 250 containers just across the back. And that was probably, there were probably 10 rows like that going from the back to the front of the ship. Huge ships. Anyway, I would sit there and watch those move, or that one just sit there, and I'd watch the birds, and I'd watch the weather, and it was just very nice, very relaxing time. I started talking about the birds. So if you look at that title card and you look at the right hand side of it, there are three birds. I'm not going to remember what they all were. The very top, I believe, was the double-breasted cormorant, which actually got a picture of it spreading its wings because they dry their wings after they dive. Not a very good picture because I was pretty far away from these, and I'm just using my cell phone to take them. At the bottom is great blue heron, which, funny, I see blue heron all the time when I go fly fishing in Pennsylvania. Never really paid attention to them as seabirds, but apparently they're quite prominent in that area. And in fact, they are considered the most common seabird in Maryland. And the middle one, I am completely blanking on the name of, but it was a bird. I'm not a bird watcher. I just kind of, well, I guess I am in a sense that I enjoy watching them, but I'm not like somebody that goes places and carries binoculars just to see birds. But if I can catch a picture of them, I got a phone app called the Merlin app on my phone, which is really good at identifying them. And you can just add it to a list, so you can keep a life list right in the app. It's just something to do. I'm never going to be a bird watcher. I'm just somebody that kind of casually enjoys them. Same thing like when I sit out back and I've got my bird feeder out. I just enjoy watching them. They're fascinating little creatures. So Monday finally rolls around, and we're going to try to get back home in time to pick up our dogs from the kennel. And by the way, the poor doggies they were supposed to get their teeth cleaned. They wound up having to get multiple extractions, both of them. They're 14 years old now. Cavities and such happen, and they were apparently both in some pain from this. I didn't realize it, but they had stopped eating, not stopped eating, but they weren't eating as much as they normally did, which is why we had their teeth checked in the first place. So they came home. They were miserable, but we had to make sure we left early enough to get them. And so we got up, got everything packed in the car. And it was like we were planning to leave hopefully by noon at the latest. I really wanted to get out of there by 10. So about 10 o'clock in the morning or so, I'm back on the bulkhead watching the birds because my wife's doing the stuff that you got to do. Uh, Car's loaded, everything's ready to go pretty much. I'm waiting for her to load up some suitcases and say, okay, now put this stuff in the car. So I'm sitting there with a pipe and just enjoying the morning. And I got a text message from my buddy Eric, the blue collar pipe smoker, and he was asking about the Columbus show, if I was going or not. And we traded a couple of messages back and forth about, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it and everything. And I, at some point, as a joke to Eric, I snapped this picture, and I'll show you. And this is me. I've turned around so that you can see the bay behind me, and I took a picture of myself smoking the pipe. And yeah, just with the bay behind me to make the point of sending this to Eric and then saying, I wish I was there right now instead of here, or something like that. And it was a joke in that although I'm in this beautiful place, I'd rather be in Ohio, was kind of the joke. Now, the pipe is important in this story. You might, well, you probably won't recognize the pipe because why would you? But that pipe is actually a pretty important pipe to me. That pipe was purchased, oh gosh, years and years ago during a trip up to Vermont. And I've talked about this before. It's what I call my little basket billiard. And the story is that I was driving up to Vermont to visit my family, and I, at the time, was pretty much a cigar smoker. I had stopped smoking pipes for a while, a couple of years, and was just really enjoying cigars. They hadn't yet gotten ridiculously expensive. And I had my cigar, my travel humidor, ready to go, and I wound up leaving without it. And I was already a couple hours down the road, and I thought, oh, geez, what am I going to do? The JR Cigar in northern New Jersey. I knew it was there, and I thought, well, let me stop there. I'll pick up a couple of cigars, and I'll be happy. So I go to the JR Cigar. It's on the way. It's in Whippany. I think it's in Whippany, New Jersey. Anyway, so I go there, and I'm, buying cigars and stuff. And as I'm buying cigars, I see they have a small display of pipe tobacco, and I think, wow, it's been a long time. But of course, I don't have a pipe. So I go over to the pipe area, and there they have a literal basket of basket pipes. It was a wicker basket, and it was full of pipes, and they were, I think, $15. I think. So I root through it. I pull out that billiard that you saw there, and I picked up a can of, it was a Cornell and Deal blend. It was the Purple Cow. It was the Purple Cow, which I really didn't like, but that's what I got. I didn't know at the time I didn't like it. So I get back in the car, and I got the cigars, and I got the pipe, and off I go, and I have my time in Vermont with this new pipe and Purple Cow, which was okay, and cigars, and I'm a happy guy. And this rekindled my interest in pipe smoking, and here I am today, where I rarely have a cigar. So that pipe is pretty important in my pipe smoking journey. And I sent a picture of me smoking it to Eric without any of that story. So we get on the road, and I have a bad habit of, when I'm in a hurry, or I'm just gonna go walk from here to there or whatever, and I finish the pipe, I take the ash out of it and knock it out, and then I take the pipe and I put it in my front pocket. I'm wearing jeans. I put it in my front pocket like this, so the bowl's pointing forward, and it just kind of rests there, with the idea being, you just stay there until I get to the next place, and I'll take you out and put you where you belong. Uh, but of course, I got to get all the luggage and everything, and get all that loaded up, and then we jump in the car and we're off, and down the road we go. Now, needed to make a quick stop at a Target, so we do that, and we get what we need, and then we drive for a couple hours, and it's lunchtime now. So we must have left closer to 10 than I thought, because it was about 2 hours later. So maybe it was a little bit later. Anyway, we stopped for some lunch, and we stop at a Bob Evans because it was there. And I get out of the car, and as I get out of the car, I say, I better take the pipe out of my pocket. I remember. And it's not there. So it's not there. So I think, oh, okay, fell out. I'm checking around. No, it's not there. I didn't take. Maybe I took it out and put it in the trunk when we were loading up the last of the luggage. I might have done that, but I gotta go use the restroom. It's been a long drive, so okay, I'll check when I come out. So we close the doors and we go into to the Bob Evans, and I go in the men's room, and it occurs to me, and warning, it's about to get graphic and tragic. It occurs to me as I'm there in the men's room that I'm remembering us leaving Target. And as we're leaving Target and the car's backing out, I hear my wife say, "What did I just run over?" And I hear this crunching sound. And I know with absolute certainty that we ran over that pipe. I didn't go back to confirm it. I just know that that's what happened. It fell out of my pocket when I got out of the car. Probably was just resting in my lap when I stood up. I didn't notice it. It went under the tire. And when we left Target, we ran over it. And it is now probably still sitting in a Target parking lot, smashed to pieces. It was a bad day. It really was, because as I've said many times, pipes become friends over time, and that pipe was definitely a friend. That was one that, had memories, and it was a beautiful smoker. I mean, I really knew my way around that pipe and really enjoyed smoking it quite a bit. You probably saw me smoke it quite a bit. And, yeah. But I need to thank Eric, the blue collar pipe smoker, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have that picture. And how often is it that you can say you've got a picture of the last time you smoked that pipe? And that is indeed it. That's the last time I ever smoked that pipe. The last time anybody ever smoked that pipe, because it is no longer with us. So that's my sad story, my tale of my time amongst the birds, and the bittersweet last smoke of that pipe. And I'm grateful that I had the experience, had the time, had that picture, and such great memories with it. And even in the end, it's a great story. So even that it's no longer with me, I've got a great story to tell about it. And there'll be others. Fortunately, it's one of the ones that I measured extensively for my billiard making project, so I know that pipe inside and out. I've got all the measurements for it. So maybe after I get through my 10 billiards, maybe I'll try to recreate it. It won't be the same, I know, but I can do it as a sort of a tribute to a lost friend. So. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that. If not, you probably have long since stopped listening to me. I know it was a bit of a long one, but I wanted to tell a story. And yeah, I hope the anti-inflammatories have kicked in enough that I can go get some stuff done now. So with that, I'm going to get this video up to you and move on with my day. I hope you have a fantastic Sunday and you're looking forward to a great week ahead. No live stream next week, no Sunday video next week. Everything will get back on track the following week because I'm going to be off at the Columbus show. I might try to sneak in a short live something or the other on Friday night. Don't look for it. If you see it pop up, please jump on. It's very difficult to do it just because it's dark and it's loud and everything else, but we'll see what we can do. And next, not this coming Wednesday, but the next Wednesday, so before we'll meet again, is Carter Hall Day. So I may try to do a video for Carter Hall Day on Wednesday, August 13th. So that's something to look forward to, if you look forward to such things. With that, my friends, I am going to head out and get on with my day. So I hope you all have a great Sunday again and a great week ahead. And until we speak again, I will look forward to talking all again very soon. Goodbye now.